There's something not many people dare to say out loud, but if you're over 60 and no longer sexually active, your body might be silently suffering. And worse, science has proven that a lack of sex in old age can weaken the heart, slow down the brain, cause insomnia, increase the risk of depression, and even shorten your lifespan. Sounds scary, right? But this isn't meant to frighten you. It's a fact, one that doctors around the world are starting to speak up about. I know many people think, I'm too old for sex. What's the point? But intimacy isn't just about physical acts. It's about connection. It's about emotion. It's about vitality. Let me tell you about Richard, a 78-year-old man who used to believe that sex is for the young. That was until he started feeling lonely, couldn't sleep, and lost interest in eating or talking to anyone. His doctor told him he had no serious illness. He was just missing one thing: intimacy. And when Richard slowly began reconnecting with his partner, with something as simple as a hug or holding hands, things began to change. In today's video, we're going to explore why sex, or more precisely, intimacy, is an essential part of healthy, joyful aging. If you're looking for real, honest, and inspiring insights to live each day to the fullest, hit that subscribe button to join the Life in Words community. We're here to talk about what others shy away from, but what you deserve to know. Now, let's dive into the first part of today's topic. This might surprise you, but not having a regular sex life in your senior years can actually weaken your heart faster than you think. Really, most people think sex is just about pleasure or closeness, but biologically, it's also a form of light cardiovascular exercise. During intimacy, your heart rate increases, blood circulation improves, and your blood vessels are stimulated to expand and stay elastic, just like a workout, only warmer and more meaningful. A study from the University of Michigan found that older adults who continued to have sex regularly had more stable blood pressure and were up to 30% less likely to suffer from heart disease compared to those who had stopped. That's because sex triggers the release of oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that lowers stress, protects the heart, and helps regulate blood pressure naturally. On the flip side, when intimacy disappears, that flow slows down. Blood vessels lose flexibility, silent inflammation rises, and the heart, both literally and emotionally, begins to tire. Many seniors think their fatigue is just a part of aging, but in truth, it may be a sign that their heart isn't being activated often enough. You may not be able to control time, but you can control how you live each day. And your heart, it's never too late for it to be loved, to be touched, and to come alive again. If you're still watching this video, leave a comment below. My heart still loves. And don't forget to hit subscribe on Life in Words, because so many wonderful things are waiting for you ahead. You may have never thought of it this way, but a regular sex life is actually a full-body workout for older adults. I'm not talking about acrobatic moves like in the movies. Even a gentle, tender moment of intimacy engages multiple muscle groups: your core, back, thighs, shoulders, wrists, even your pelvic floor, which plays a crucial role in balance and bladder control. Dr. Michael Levine of the American Geriatrics Institute once shared, "Regular sexual activity after 60 not only boosts mental well-being, it helps maintain muscle strength and joint flexibility, two key factors in preventing falls, fractures, and mobility loss." But when intimacy is neglected for too long, your body starts to forget how to use those muscles. Joints become stiffer, muscles slowly weaken. Simple movements, like bending down, sitting up, or turning around, become tiring, painful, and increase your risk of falling. You see, sex doesn't need to be perfect. What matters is connection, a bit of movement, and a willing spirit. That alone is already a form of self-care. It's something physical therapy can't fully replace, because sex doesn't just move your body, it stirs your heart. If you agree that movement born from love is one of life's greatest gifts in old age, drop a comment. 1. If you're still unsure, comment 0, and let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe to Life in Words, where every day is a step forward toward health and happiness. Thank you for staying with me. Now, let's move into the next chapter. Something most people never expect: the link between sex and brain health. There's something Canadian psychiatrist Dr. Laura Hayes once said that has stayed with me. Every time a person feels intimacy, the brain gets recharged. That's true at any age, but especially vital later in life. When you share a moment of affection, no need for full intercourse, the body releases dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. These happy hormones act like natural brain boosters, improving memory, sharpening focus, and significantly lowering the risk of cognitive decline. A 2020 study in the UK followed more than 6,800 adults over 65. It found that those with an active sex life performed much better in memory and problem-solving tasks. They were also less depressed, less anxious, and overall had a more positive outlook on life. On the other hand, when intimacy disappears for too long, loneliness begins to take over. Without those feel-good hormones, sleep suffers and sadness creeps in. Some people start forgetting small things, where they put their keys, an appointment they made, and eventually, even memories that once deeply touched them. You see, sex in old age isn't just about the body. It's a way to keep your mind sharp, your heart open, and your most beautiful memories alive. If you're still watching this video, comment yes, so I know you're with me. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because here at Life in Words, we're walking with you on this journey of joyful, healthy, and meaningful living every day. You're doing great. Thank you for staying with me this far. Now, let's talk about something much quieter, yet deeply dangerous: emotional disconnection in relationships. Last year, a dear friend named Walter, 78 years old, living in Oregon, shared something with me. He said he and his wife Helen, though still living under the same roof, hadn't hugged each other in over 3 years. "We don't fight," he said. "We just stopped touching, and neither of us said anything about it." Sadly, stories like this are all too common. As people grow older, many start believing that sex, affection, or loving words are luxuries, only meant for the young. But in truth, intimacy in later years is one of the strongest bonds that keeps love alive. Connection, closeness, and the feeling of being cherished. Without it, many couples gradually turn into housemates. They still share meals, still check in on each other, but something's missing. No more warm glances, no more midnight embraces. Just two people slowly drifting into separate worlds, quietly, gently, apart. Have you ever felt that way? If so, you're not alone. Intimacy isn't just about sex. It's about presence. It's about touching each other's souls. It's the look that listens, the hand that steadies you as you step down the stairs, the hug that holds you together when the world feels too heavy. Don't let time take that sacred connection away. If you're still watching, leave a comment. I still believe in connection. And remember to subscribe, because at Life in Words, we'll keep bringing you heartfelt stories, real insights, and reminders that love has no expiration date. You deserve to be loved at any age. Wonderful! Thank you for staying with me so patiently. Now, let's talk about another very common but often overlooked effect: how a lack of intimacy can disrupt your sleep. Can you remember the last time you had a truly deep, peaceful sleep? For George, a 76-year-old man living on the outskirts of San Diego, sleepless nights had become his new normal for over 2 years. He shared how he often tossed and turned until 2 or 3 a.m. and felt exhausted the entire next day. At first, he blamed it on aging, but after a health checkup, his doctor suggested something he had never considered. The near absence of intimacy in his life might actually be a key factor. It might sound surprising, but science absolutely agrees. During and after sexual intimacy, the body releases a range of hormones that help us relax and regulate our sleep, including oxytocin, dopamine, and especially prolactin. These hormones not only promote a sense of happiness and emotional closeness, but they also trigger natural drowsiness, making it easier to fall into deep, restorative sleep. On the flip side, without physical closeness, your body misses out on these helpful hormones. This can lead to ongoing sleep issues, difficulty falling asleep, shallow sleep, or waking up frequently at night. Over time, poor sleep weakens the immune system, increases the risk of depression and anxiety, and invites a host of other health problems. Good sleep is one of the core pillars of longevity. And sometimes, what you need isn't a sleeping pill, it's a hug, a kiss before bed, or a moment of intimacy to soothe the soul. If you've ever found yourself staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night, ask yourself, am I missing emotional and physical connection in my life? And if you're still with me in this video, leave a comment saying, "Love and sleep go hand in hand." And don't forget to hit subscribe so we can keep exploring these deep truths about aging gracefully here on Life in Words. Thank you for staying tuned. Now, let's explore a more subtle but deeply impactful consequence of lacking sexual intimacy in later life: the decline in self-confidence and self-image. Evelyn, a 74-year-old former art teacher, once told me that even though she still dressed nicely and kept active with friends, deep down, she felt like she was becoming invisible. No one touched her hand with affection anymore. No admiring glances. No sense of being desired. And slowly, she began to believe, "I'm old now. I'm no longer attractive." Evelyn's story is not uncommon. Many people after 60 begin to feel like they've passed their loving years. But that belief is a painful misconception. Sex isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about affirming your worth, feeling wanted, feeling cherished. When someone touches you with tenderness, when your partner's eyes light up because of you, that's when you feel truly alive. But when those moments fade away, self-doubt creeps in. You may start to feel less desirable, less confident, and gradually lose your sense of vitality. Sadly, many people retreat inward because of shame or self-doubt. They stop reaching out, stop initiating closeness. But if no one breaks that silence, loneliness only grows, even within the same home. You deserve to feel desirable at any age. If you're watching this and you've ever felt the way Evelyn did, drop A in the comments as a small way to honor your worth. And don't forget to hit subscribe to keep walking this journey with Life in Words, where growing older doesn't mean fading away, but stepping into your own kind of brilliance. Now, let's turn to one final, surprising truth: how a lack of sexual intimacy can weaken your immune system. George, 82 years old and living with his wife in the suburbs, used to be full of energy. But over the past few years, he found himself catching colds more often, taking longer to heal from cuts and scrapes. At first, he chalked it up to getting older. But after an open conversation with his doctor, he realized there was something he hadn't considered. His intimacy had quietly vanished. It may sound odd, but science has shown a direct connection between sexual activity and immune strength. During intimacy, the body produces more immunoglobulin A, IgA, your first line of defense against viruses and bacteria. Not only that, hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, released during physical touch, help regulate inflammation, support tissue repair, and speed up recovery from illness. When that physical connection disappears, these natural defenses begin to fade. The immune system weakens, and the body becomes more vulnerable. But this doesn't have to be your fate. It's simply a reminder that we've neglected a vital part of our well-being. After that realization, George and his wife decided to make a change. Not with anything dramatic, but with longer hugs in the morning. Random touches just because. They told me, "We feel healthier from the inside out." If you've noticed yourself getting sick more often and can't quite figure out why, try looking at the level of intimacy in your life. And if you agree that strong immunity comes from more than just pills or supplements, leave a comment. I want to heal naturally. We'd love to hear your honest thoughts. Increased stress and anxiety. If you believe that old age means peace and freedom from worry, you might want to rethink that after hearing Karen's story. At 71, living in Los Angeles, Karen spent her whole life working hard and raising children. Now, she enjoys a peaceful life with her elderly husband, John. But recently, Karen has noticed something strange. She's often tense, easily irritated, and struggles to fall asleep at night. And Karen isn't alone. Many older adults, after stepping away from an active sex life, begin to experience increased anxiety and stress. It's an unexpected consequence, but one that science supports. During moments of intimacy, our bodies release hormones like oxytocin and endorphins. These not only make us feel happy, but they're also powerful stress relievers and natural anxiety blockers. Without intimacy, people can become more prone to anxiety, depression, and even panic attacks. Karen shared, "We hadn't been physically close in a long time. Every night, I'd lie in bed feeling anxious and restless. But once John and I started reconnecting, through longer hugs or just holding hands, I felt lighter. The anxiety didn't feel so overwhelming anymore." If you've ever felt like stress or restlessness is creeping in, don't underestimate the power of reconnecting through small, loving gestures. Have you noticed any changes since reviving intimacy in your relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments below this video. Relationships becoming fragile. Mary and Tom, a couple married for 45 years, used to be the picture of lasting love. But over the past few years, Mary has noticed a shift. Tom had grown distant, emotionally closed off, and the long conversations they used to enjoy had faded. As they entered their 70s, physical affection and intimate gestures slowly disappeared. The absence of sexual intimacy began to dull the bond between them. It didn't just affect their physical closeness, it weakened their emotional connection too. Without intimacy, many couples find themselves turning into roommates rather than true life partners. A study from the University of California found that the lack of sexual activity in older adults can lead to a drop in relationship quality, increase feelings of loneliness, and emotional detachment. That sense of closeness and shared joy can slowly be replaced by silence, creating distance between two people who once felt inseparable. Mary said, "We had become more like close friends than husband and wife. But once we began sharing those little loving gestures again, we felt reconnected, almost like those early days of falling in love." If you feel like your relationship is becoming distant, try to rekindle it through small acts of affection. Don't let the silence stretch too long. Tell us how you're feeling in the comments below this video. When the body forgets. How to respond sexually. When John, a 75-year-old man, started noticing his body didn't respond like it used to during intimate moments with his wife, he grew concerned. "I've always taken pride in my health," he said. "But now, I don't understand why my body isn't working the same." A long absence from sexual activity can affect not only emotional bonds, but also the body's natural ability to respond to intimacy. For men, this might show up as difficulty maintaining an erection. For women, it could mean vaginal dryness, discomfort, or even pain during intercourse. These changes are often the result of a lack of physical stimulation and the natural decline of sexual reflexes. According to medical experts, not maintaining sexual activity can lead to diminished sexual function. When the body is no longer practicing, the genital organs may begin to lose responsiveness. And the older we get, the more this can become a challenge, especially if we don't take active steps to keep that part of life alive. But here's the good news. This forgetting can be reversed. Doctors encourage couples to reintroduce physical affection gradually, whether it's through hand-holding, hugs, or simply kind and loving words. With patience and understanding, the body's natural responses can slowly be restored. Have you noticed any changes in your body as you've gotten older? Share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear your experience. Solutions: rekindling intimacy in later life. So, what can you do if you've realized that your sex life has started to fade? The good news is, you don't need a dramatic transformation. Sometimes, all it takes is a gentle touch, a loving glance, or a quiet moment shared between you and your partner to reignite that spark. Every journey begins with a small step. Start by opening up honest conversations with your partner, not just about sex, but about emotions, needs, and unspoken desires. Don't be afraid to say that you feel distant, that you long for closeness again, or simply that you miss the comfort of holding someone at night. If physical challenges are part of the picture, such as erectile dysfunction, pain during intimacy, or hormonal changes, remember that modern medicine offers many solutions. A visit to a specialist might reveal options you never considered. Seeking help is not a sign of failure. It's an act of love for yourself and the one you cherish. And if you're living alone, that doesn't mean you have to give up on intimacy. You can reconnect with your own body through self-care, mindfulness, and rediscovering those gentle, private moments that bring warmth and emotion back to life. Have you ever tried holding your partner just a little longer than usual? Or simply said, "You still take my breath away"? These small gestures might just be the key to unlocking a door that's been quietly waiting to open again. What helps you feel most connected to your partner? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Intimacy doesn't belong only to the young sex is not a privilege reserved for youth. It is the quiet language of connection, the whisper of affection, the reminder that we are still alive, not just by heartbeat, but through emotion and closeness. Whether you are 60, 70, or 80, you still deserve to be desired, to be touched, to be loved, and to live fully. Don't let age take that away from you. Don't let silence cool the fire that once made your heart beat faster. Intimacy has no expiration date. It doesn't fade with silver hair. It only disappears when we stop cherishing it. If you're still watching this video, drop a comment. I still deserve to be loved. A promise to yourself that it's never too late. You may have faced loss, changes in your body, or shifts in your relationships. But that doesn't mean your intimate journey is over. It's just waiting for a new beginning. Gentler, slower, but still full of life. If this video made you think, made you smile, or simply touched something deep inside, let us know how it made you feel. And if you want to keep walking this journey with life in words, exploring health, emotional connection, and the beauty of aging, don't forget to hit subscribe. Because life isn't just about the years we live, it's about how we live each day, with love, with connection, and the joy of being unapologetically ourselves.